After months of training with new equipment and tactics at Gondricourt, Les Valdons, and in the Somerville trenches of the Lorraine front, the division moved into the Montdidier sector of Picardy in April for the first American offensive of the war.
For 1 month, it lay in the trenches before the village of Cantigny, a German salient. German guns pounded the green American troops, while the division artillery hurled up to 10,000 shells a day into the enemy lines. Then on May 28th, the division's 28th Infantry Regiment went over the top behind a massive artillery barrage.
Cantigny fell within an hour. For the next 48 hours, the division repelled 7 German counterattacks, holding its gain. Meanwhile, the Germans' Marne River salient had imperiled the entire Allied front. After developing a huge pocket between Soissons and Reims, they crossed the Marne on an 11-mile front, heading for Paris. On July 18th at 4:35 a.m., southwest of Soissons, the Big Red One attacked as the left wing of the French 20th Corps.
The only unit of the Corps to fight without relief or reinforcements, the 1st Division gave everything it had to the great counteroffensive of Marshal Foch. In mud and rain, through swamps and across chest-high fields of grain, the Big Red One advanced 7 miles against elements of 7 German divisions. It carried its objectives in the Missé, Cloisé, and Chazelle ravines, at Berzy-le-Sec, Cousancy, and the Paris-Soissons road.
Attack, the Germans recrossed the Marne on their final retreat. German General Ludendorff called Soissons the turning point of the war. It was one of the most decisive battles of history, and the Big Red One was there. 2 months later, after refitting and replacement of its 7,000 casualties, the 1st Division turned toward the German guns at Saint-Mihiel, dominated by Mount Sec. Within sound of those guns, studding the mountain, the division had begun its combat training a year before.
Fighting for the first time under American command in the newly constituted 1st U.S. Army, the 1st struck with the 26th Division. They attacked September 12th on either side of the salient. 19 hours later, the 2 divisions met at Hatten-Châtel, isolating Mount Sec, wiping out the Saint-Mihiel salient.
Forest now loomed on the battle horizon of the great Allied offensive. In Corps Reserve, when the First Army attacked on September 28th, but under heavy German bombardment, the 1st Division moved over to the offensive on October 4th.
Veterans of the Argonne would remember Montrembault, Montrefond, Hill 209, 269, and the forbidding ridge of Hill 272. On the first day of the attack, the 3rd Battalion of the 16th Infantry Regiment was the only unit on the entire Western Front to reach its objective. By the time of its relief, the night of October 11th, the division had advanced about 4 miles. The casualties were 7,520, by far the greatest number in any battle. But it had outflanked the forest, enabling the 82nd Division to clear the northern edge of the woods. And for the only time in World War I, General Pershing's headquarters cited the division, the 1st, with these words in General Orders Number 201. The Commander-in-Chief has noted in this division a pride of service and high state of morale, never broken by hardship nor battle. There remained more hard fighting for the 1st along the Meuse River early in November, and then the final drive toward Sedan. to victory. The price was high. 681 officers and 21,987 enlisted men were killed, wounded, dead of disease, or missing and prisoners. Of them, 4,964 were killed in battle.
And this is the famous 1st Division of World War I, assembled in the Koblenz bridgehead. Based on the organization of 4 infantry regiments in 2 brigades, it was known as a square division. Its men, stretching almost out to the horizon, numbered 28,000.